Corey Crawford. Corey fucking Crawford. The Rubik's Cube the Vegas Golden Knights just couldn't fucking figure out. Like 2 games. They finally do. In Game 5, the Vegas Golden Knights grabbed a 4-3 win against the Chicago Blackhawks. And goddamn it, it was a hard-fought win. Because the Chicago Blackhawks came out hot. And yes, the Vegas Golden Knights had Paul Stastny back, but when you got that bad man, Corey Crawford, in net, it's very hard to score. Especially when he's been hot since the third period of Game 3 and has been continuing that hotness to just heat up his team. And that heat translate into goals. 2 goals in the first period for the Chicago Blackhawks. One in the form of Jonathan Taves, first period, 10 minutes and 32 seconds in. It's just a horrible defensive turnover by the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, the derp effect of Lehner, McNabb, and Schmidt were on full display there. And Taves just tucking that one in, I thought, this is a man, a captain, who hasn't scored all series long and does so right now. Jesus Christ, the floodgates might open. And as much as the Vegas Golden Knights were trying to retaliate back, they couldn't. Because Corey fucking Crawford, the wall! And it's the Brinket who gets the second goal for Chicago. 18 minutes and 19 seconds into that first period. And the way the Chicago team is just passing this puck around was just absolutely brilliant. And it had Holden and Zach Whitecloud on their ass. And by this point, I'm just thinking, oh, Lehner looks a little lackluster today. He looks a little meh today. Not bad, just meh. And despite that, the Vegas Golden Knights said, fuck it, we're down 2. We got to go. We can't concede anymore. We got to answer right fucking back. And that answer comes in the form of this little happy figure right here behind me in Max Pacioretty. Getting the goal 19 minutes and 30 seconds in, 31 depending on how you see the shot clock or time clock there. But it's this aggressive forechecking that leads to a nice shot by McNabb. And bouncing off the defenseman, Pacioretty is able to just net that one in. And it's this Carlson, Stone, and Pacioretty line that just does this so brilliantly. And there's optimism there now because you score from a guy who hasn't scored all series long in Max Pacioretty, who, as we know, Vegas Golden Knights fans, he can be a little bit hot and cold. So him getting hot in Game 5 was spectacular, especially getting just that goal to stop the bleeding at 2-0. Great stuff heading into the second period with 30 seconds left. That could be a huge momentum booster. And surprise, surprise, the Vegas Golden Knights are able to capitalize on that momentum 57 seconds into the second period with Mark Stone getting that fucking goal. And it's that line again, boys and girls. Carlson, Pacioretty, and Mark Stone. I mean, the Carlson spin pass to get this shit to Mark Stone was just brilliant. And on the other side of that word, stupid or dum-dum, was Chicago's defense on that goal, which looked a bit messy, looked a bit sloppy there. And thus the battle continued, boys and girls. Tied 2-2. The Vegas Golden Knights and Chicago Blackhawks were punching the shit out of each other, figuratively, not literally. I mean, this game surprisingly didn't have a lot of penalties. Only 2, 1 for each side. Happened to be in the second period. But before those penalties were issued, boys and girls, Patrick Kane scores to get the go-ahead goal for the Chicago Blackhawks. Second period, 4 minutes and 2 seconds in. Nate Schmidt just did not have the best of games today. Just another fucking turnover where you're thinking, oh God. Patrick Kane is all by himself with a couple of foot right in front of Robin Lehner. What the hell is going to happen? And Patrick Kane, just the brilliant move that he makes is just heart-wrenching as a Golden Knights fan, but as a hockey fan, you're thinking, that's just a brilliant goal. Good God, he just fucking shattered Lehner. It's a bummer. But what's a bigger bummer is listening to Chelsea Dagger right after the fucking goal goes in for Patrick Kane. Da 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 da. No, I don't want to hear that shit. I want to hear Vegas slice my Panic at the Disco. I don't want to hear Chelsea Dagger. Stop. And you know what? The Vegas Golden Knights kept pushing, kept going at it, and finally, something comes their way in the form of a penalty, a power play opportunity for the Vegas Golden Knights, where Boquist of the Chicago Blackhawks was caught stick holding. And coming into this penalty kill for the Chicago Blackhawks, they were 9-9 in this series. 14 consecutive penalty kills since the restart. And yeah, I was concerned because, again, 9 consecutive penalty kills in this series alone. That's how inept the Vegas Golden Knights power play unit has been. So I'm already worried. Oh, cool, the fucking Blackhawks are going to make it a magical goddamn 10. Isn't that fucking nice? But one man decided not today. That consecutive streak ends now! Now! And that man is Alec Martinez. Alec Martinez, second period, 7 minutes and 28 seconds in. Just a great build-up in this power play from Carlson to Schmidt to Smith. And the puck just zipping on through. Alec Martinez. Nets went in. And Crawford, honestly, I thought had no chance on that. He just didn't. And for the Vegas Golden Knights to tie that up 3-3 in the second period, I thought was huge, especially on the power play. Because again, like I said, 9 consecutive penalty kills for the Chicago Blackhawks. Successful penalty kills that has been attributed to just a frustrating power play unit for the Vegas Golden Knights each and every time you see them. But a goal is a goal is a goal. Good shit. And being tied up, now you just have to be aggressive. Stay, on Corey Crawford. Keep testing him. And he's able to answer the bell, of course. Corey Crawford was spectacular all throughout this game. And what became very curious was, despite how kind of meh Robin Lehner was, he came up in big moments. Although one moment in particular that was a bit odd was Highmore crashing into Robin Lehner. And initially people thinking it was a goalie interference. But what ends up happening is a penalty going towards Vegas because Shea Theodore is actually caught slashing Highmore on his way to crash into Lehner. Now, the optics of this looked very simple, at least in the last 1 or 2 seconds of the crash, where Highmore is going at this ridiculous speed and he has no way to really just kind of stop himself with the body kind of pressed on him by Shea Theodore. So he inevitably crashes into Robin Lehner, which I thought, okay, well, that doesn't seem like goalie interference. But when you look back, you see the slash, it's like, okay, cool. That's a slash. I'm not really going to complain about that shit. And I know Vegas Golden Knights fans are going to add that tally to why they're salty against the refs. But, dude, the refs have been just relatively atrocious all throughout the restart. So don't blame them. Just get better at the game. And thankfully, the Vegas Golden Knights on the penalty kill, they got better. They didn't allow a goddamn goal. And all throughout the second period, I just watched this game and think, William Karlsson looks really dangerous. He's been looking fantastic all throughout this fucking game. Already recorded 2 assists on the night, if I'm not mistaken, 2 assists on the night. And man, you had the Vegas Golden Knights just pounding the puck the last few seconds of the second period and hoping they get a lead. And they look like they could have done it. But again, Corey Crawford is just a man on a mission. I mean, honestly, man, Corey Crawford has been on a crusade-like mentality with the Chicago Blackhawks this series, where I could tell you right now, 3 or 4 of those games, if it's not for Corey Crawford, the score isn't as close and the scores aren't as low. And all you can say for the Vegas Golden Knights is cool. They at least figured out how to kind of score on Crawford, but they got to get that oomph factor going into the third period, and that oomph factor comes in the form of Alex Tuch. Alex Tuch gets a huge goal for the Vegas Golden Knights in the third period, 1 minute and 34 seconds in. And it's more so with just a very, very crisp pass to Tuch, who grapples his way in with the size, with the speed, and just nestles the puck in. And again, Alex Tuch, another guy like Max Pacioretty, who hasn't scored in this series, if I'm not mistaken. I think he might have scored an empty netter, but I could be wrong, boys and girls, yet. He's another cat who's been dangerous with that third line of Nicolas Roy and Nick Cousins. And him getting that goal tally felt huge. And getting that lead so early, man, it was just open ice for both sides, really. I mean, Vegas keeps applying the pressure. Chicago able to handle it from relative efforts from the defensive end, but really, I would just say Corey Crawford just being an absolute fucking beast that he was. And Chicago is able to answer back, right? You know, they're able to answer right back. You know, Brandon Saad with a couple of good chances, DeBrincat creating dangerous looks. I mean, Patrick Kane always just on the prowl, looking hot. And it was a close one, boys and girls. It felt close. But surely, with this goal, it felt like the game was over. Alex Tuch, yet again, third period, 15 minutes and 13 seconds in, nets a goal from Chandler Stevenson, who is just zipping fucking down the ice and gets the pass right along to Tuch. And you have Cousins just kind of screening and bodying Corey Crawford, and Tuch is able to get the goal in. And then you see the referees just hovering around the video board and thinking, okay, cool, this is going to get called back. Because it was a goalie interference. Nick Cousins was all up in Corey Crawford's face. You're being a fucking Chicago apologist. No, dude, just watch the fucking game. Like, Nick Cousins was seriously all over Corey Crawford. And because of that, the goal gets called back. And yeah, that was with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left. And you felt the pressure. Because if it was a 5-3, game, I mean, the chances are in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights just swimmingly going through it the last 4 minutes and ending the series. But 4-3, with 4 minutes left, more than 4 minutes left, that's a huge lifeline for the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, the way they've been playing, at least in the last two games, offensively, I mean, it's just been incredible. And partnered along with the fact that Corey Crawford has just been on it this entire series, they had a chance. Chicago absolutely had a chance. And it's really in part to the Vegas Golden Knights' aggressive forechecking that the bench doesn't see Corey Crawford with the empty net until 1 minute and 16 seconds left. And within that time, the Vegas Golden Knights face a barrage of shots and bodies all over Robin Lehner and inside the defense. But Lehner and the entire team is able to soak all that shit up, and right down to the fucking buzzer. Right down to the buzzer, because there were at least 3 or 4 good opportunities within the last 35, 40 seconds of this game for the Chicago Blackhawks where they could have tied it. And if they tied it, I believe they would have won it in overtime. And being only down 3-2, Game 6 would have been a wash. Chicago would have won it. And then Vegas would have just been an eternal meme. Right? Blowing a 3-1 series lead and then becoming the San Jose Sharks 2.0 with the reverse sweep. But not today. Not today. Robin Lehner comes up big in the last few seconds of this game, and the Vegas Golden Knights advance to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I'm excited because I'm actually wearing a shirt from the 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs. And this, remember this? The series against the fucking San Jose Sharks? 3-1? Yeah, that's over. That fear is out of my mind now. We're done with round 1. We can keep writing new history in round 2. It's only our 3rd year, as you recall, kids. But here's a great thing, man. The Chicago Blackhawks, in the regular season, facing the Vegas Golden Knights, in 12 meetings, they only won one time. One time. I believe it's 12 or 13, but they only beat the Vegas Golden Knights in the regular season one time. In the playoffs, out of 5 games, they beat us one time. In all respects to how they lost to the fucking regular season game, that one win in this series felt huge, and I got to give tremendous kudos to Chicago Blackhawks. I know a lot of Vegas Golden Knights fans just kept saying sweep, 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 easy fucking money, easy team, but turns out my assessment was right about the Chicago Blackhawks. This team was fantastic. They honestly could have won 2 games in my mind, and if some of those shots go in for Jonathan Toews in games 1 and 2, and Corey Crawford just stayed on it all throughout, this could have been a very different series. But yeah, Chicago put up a brilliant effort. And tonight was no exception for Corey Crawford, where he makes 35 saves on 39 shots, 4 goals allowed on an .897 save percentage. I honestly watch this game and think, this isn't all Corey Crawford's fault. You can't fucking fault this guy for this. Like, he gave his everything to give Chicago an opportunity to at least tie this game, to send it into overtime. But Chicago faltered in that regard. Whereas on the other side, Robin Lehner, I would say he just had a very mediocre game. 23 saves on 26 shots, 3 goals allowed on a .885 save percentage. But the man got the job done. I mean, that's all that matters, right? Getting to the next round, getting to that next stage, and counting down to the next puck drop and hoping that you win each and every fucking game, each and every face-off, each and every shift and whatnot, man. I mean, dude, what a thrilling game. What a thrilling series. I mean, I thought this matchup would have been fun from the beginning, but I didn't think it would be this fun. So the Vegas Golden Knights are officially headed into the next round, and it sucks, Blackhawks fans, but dude, you guys got 3 cups in this decade. So what are you complaining about? Honestly, thinking about it from a Chicago Blackhawks point of view, it's just like this. You have the youngest average roster coming into the playoffs, right? And you went up against a team by all the sportsbook odds saying they are the favorites to win this entire enchilada. And you came over, and in 5 games, it was every bit as close as it can be. And you made the Vegas Golden Knights sweat. So I wouldn't take any real negative for the Chicago Blackhawks in their series. I thought they played brilliantly. And in the end, the Vegas Golden Knights win. That makes me a happy fanboy. And the Vegas Golden Knights will wait because they are the first team in either bubble to advance to the next round. So the Vegas Golden Knights get a hefty break, and I will be watching who crawls out of the Western Conference matchups in round 1. So good times, boys and girls. Follow me at the Sky Lounge on all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily content. Go Knights, go! Fuck off.